Welcome to the Onion Buns. So for this week's edition of Happy Day, we're going to go back to the old trusted videos, online videos that I want to say guaranteed, but most likely will bring a big smile to your face. As I said, I'm an animal lover, so I love feel-good stories involving animals. So take a look at this one.
I was curious if she would really remember me. That reunion was everything that I was hoping might happen. Luckily, she did remember me and knew that she was going to be safe. To see her go into her whole body wiggle, her jumping up and down and licking my face, I was so happy. I knew we were making the right choice, bringing her home. To just reinforce that she belonged here the whole time. When we adopted her, she was a bit older, special needs, a breed that has stigma around it, is dangerous or aggressive. So there was already a soft spot in my heart for her. After the adoption, she had known me for a few months then, and she's been glued to my side. She's basically been my shadow. She goes wherever I go. She doesn't care she's blind. I need to be her eyes and just kind of steer her in the right direction. I have to be on alert whenever we're walking around. No scrolling the phone. There's no daydreaming and not paying attention. We do have commands to let her know if she's close to running into something.
Good girl.
She's very communicative.
Do you wanna go for a walk?
Oh. What do we eat?
People have reached out to me about helping blind dogs navigate the world.
That's right. That's where you eat.
In new environments. I'll walk Lara around on leash probably a half dozen times and let her sniff so she can mentally map out where she is.
Good girl.
It's a lot easier than I had anticipated because the animals make it easier with their personality. Whatever that disability may be, their instinct is to live their lives as a normal animal would. It's great to watch Lara play with other animals. She somehow knows when a dog is quite small, and she'll get really low and she'll be very gentle with them. Then she wants to really roughhouse and wrestle and play. It's fun to see. Regardless of anything that has happened to her in her past, she seemingly could not care less. She has always been a very happy, loving, outgoing dog. She's just a goofy girl that also loves cuddling and snuggling with people that she knows loves. She made a home in my heart.
Okay, yes, I...
As someone that has rescued I had taken in a African coonhound back when I was in Southern Ontario. She came to me, her name was Speckles. And she came to me in a really rough condition. Typically, an African coonhound, full-size adult, is 90 to 100 pounds. She came into me at 151 pounds. So she looked like, honestly, she looked like a sheep that needed to be sheared. And she was fighting a horrible yeast infection all over her skin. And what had happened is she had been the companion of an elderly lady in Ohio, and the elderly lady died. And when the paramedics went into the apartment, Speckles got out and she lived on the street for, I never did find out how long it was. I assume it was only a few weeks, but it could have been longer before the Humane Society or whoever it was in Ohio picked her up, and then they got in touch with the coonhound rescue out there and got shipped into Canada, and I became her foster. And you have no idea how much these animals, first off, they sense if they're safe. I've said this before. They know when they're around somebody that has good intentions for them. You can tell by their body language. Like, this dog knew instantly that she was safe around this guy, and she adored him. And Speckles was the same way. I had the same thing. As once Speckles, it took Speckles about a week to get accustomed to my home, and especially because I had two cats that were ultra curious. There was no fights or anything, but it was hilarious. And once she got comfortable, it was the same thing. She followed me everywhere. I'd go on the computer. She'd be laying beside me, just laying there. Like she wanted to be close to me constantly. When I got TK, same thing. I didn't know TK. I got TK during COVID. I didn't know his backstory. They didn't tell me his backstory. So turns out TK was deathly afraid of other cats. And yeah, so I brought TK home and Motor went up to introduce himself. And Motor's super calm, super chill, no aggression whatsoever cat. And TK curled into a little ball and he started screeching in terror. And this went on for 3 months. But when Motor wasn't around, TK was never more than 2 feet away from me. He followed me everywhere. He slept with me. I was his human and I was his savior. And that was that. Same with Faf. I brought Faf in Faf trying to run in, but, I brought Faf into my home and Faf was beside me to this very day. It's been 6 months and Faf is never more than 6 feet away from me at any given time. He just follows me around. When I go to bed, he's the first one up there and he's meowing nonstop till I call him up and he jumps up and he gets all his attention. Then he goes down by my feet, curls up and goes to sleep for the night. But he's never far away. And that's the thing with rescues is once they find that human that they feel safe around, they're never far away. They are so dependent on that human bond. And you can see that with Laura here, the blind Pitty. And blind dogs are a lot more work because dogs need to be walked. They need the exercise. Their health depends on it, whereas a cat do its zoomies throughout the night in the house and it really doesn't need to go outside, contrary to what some of the psychopaths out there try to claim. Dogs have to get outside. You have to walk them on their leash. You have to do all of this stuff for them. And if they're blind, it's even extra work. So mad props to this guy. He's doing a fantastic job and it's very obvious that this dog absolutely adores him. So well done. Very well done. There's nothing cuter than baby animals, not baby humans, baby animals. And yeah, that's really about all there is to say about it. Take a look at this. Little guy's just having a blast. Something just as simple as a light little water and it's playtime. And all animals are like that, honestly. The babies, all they want to do is play. Be it bears, tigers, kittens, puppies, deer, moose, you name it. The babies, they're innocent. They just want to play. Kind of like adults. As they get older, they get a little more jaded, a little more fearful, and for good reason. And just watching the babies play just brings a smile to your face. One of the things I really miss about when I lived out east, I lived in a city out east in Southern Ontario. I was about 45 minutes outside of Toronto, but it was still close enough to the wilderness that I got a lot of wild animals coming into my backyard. No deer or anything, but I had chipmunks, I had squirrels, I had raccoons. I loved my raccoons. The rest of the neighborhood hated them, but I loved these guys. And skunks, and I just had a whole assortment of wild animals coming in. So every time I see a video of wild animals coming up to a person's back window, I get jealous. I would love for this. Like, my dream is if I ever had enough money, I'd buy myself an acreage and yeah, it would be fantastic. So this video is just basically kind of like that. Take a look.
Clarice, really? Using your baby to try to get cookies from me? Not cool. Clarice.
Like I said, just a short video, but how could anyone not enjoy that? That would bring an absolute smile to my face every day, having deer or even bears, honestly, just wild animals coming to visit, doing their thing, living in peace. So as I said, the idea of wild animals coming up to my back porch that's just a dream come true. And here's another video, just another example. I'd love this stuff. Absolute dream come true. After a hard day, there's nothing I like more than just a hot tub. Just get in there and soak. Let the muscles relax. Let the steam get in your pores. It is just peaceful. Peaceful and relaxing. And apparently I'm not the only one that thinks this way.
A lot of people asking if we pay extra for the bear.
It's on its back just playing in the water. This is the cutest thing in the world, and it's mean as all get out probably. Oh my gosh, it's on its back. That is hilarious, Joe. You've got to see this. He's just chilling out.
That was good.
He's like, man, this is great. This is the life. And he tore he knocked the girl over. I'm gonna have to tell this guy that we didn't do this.
Oh, I got video last night.
Oh, so you saw him come in?
Yeah.
Is that hilarious or what?
Hilarious.
So yeah, just chill, relax, soak after a hard day of eating berries and foraging. Sounds like the life to me. The bear's on the right track. Speaking of raccoons, I got a video of a raccoon doing what raccoons do best. Back when I lived in southern Ontario, I had a family of raccoons for about 7 or 8 years straight, and then they just disappeared. But every night or evening, you'd see the mother, the father, and usually about 5 or 6 kits come walking down the fence line, and they'd walk to my yard, and they'd come into my yard. Now, I am a firm believer that animals, they sense when they're safe around a human. Now, that doesn't mean you go out and start trying to pet a bear or something. But this mother and father, male, female raccoon would bring their kids every single year during the summer. They'd come down the fence line. They'd come to my yard. They'd drop off the kits on my back deck, and I wasn't feeding them, because my neighbors would have lost their shit if I was feeding them, because the truth is raccoons can do quite a lot of damage to people's houses. One of my neighbors, they got up in the awning and it was $10,000 worth of damage they did. So no, I wasn't feeding them or encouraging them, but I guess they knew I wasn't going to hurt them either, because every day for about 6 or 7 years, they'd drop off the kits on my deck, and the kits would play on my deck and under my deck, and they'd climb up, and they would eat the sunflower seeds that were out for the squirrels and the birds, but you can only do so much. I'm not going to pull down the bird feeder every day because of it. So yeah, so that would go on for 6, and I would love just sitting there watching them play, chase each other. My 2 cats at the time, Furball and Rascal, would sit there with me, and we'd just watch for hours as these raccoons played. So they're really quite mischievous, and they're really quite friendly, actually. And it was funny. It's like you'd see the parents leave, and then every once in a while you'd hear dogs bark in the neighborhood, and you'd see the one or both of the parents come racing back into my yard, and they'd sit there and they'd wait for everything to calm down, and then they'd go out and they're doing their foraging and whatever, and the kids are just playing there, and they're just having a grand old time. And one day I did actually walk out there amongst the kits, and they just sat there cooing at me, just looking at me, cooing, no problem at all. So I love raccoons, I really do, and that's what this video is. Yeah, they are always hungry. They can never stop eating, it seems. But whatever, they're cute. They got personality, and that's the most thing. With animals, I love animals with personality. So anyway, that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed my video, please leave a like and subscribe and share. I'm trying to grow the channel, and liking, subscribing, and sharing is the easiest way to get more eyes on the content. If you didn't like the video, leave a dislike. Always feel free to leave a comment. Don't worry, I don't swing my cane too strongly anymore if I dislike your comment. And as always, pew 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Bye.